Hey everybody, how you doing? Good early morning. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. I can't say Happy Mother's Day enough. Take care of your mom. Treat your mom. Get roses for your mom. I did. But I'm talking about something that has little to do with Mother's Day, at least directly. And it's about clearing Oakland A's, Las Vegas Ballpark, fake news and misunderstandings. Little to do with Mother's Day, at least directly. And it's about clearing Oakland A's, Las Vegas Ballpark, fake news and misunderstandings. And it's so nice. I had to say it twice yet again, and I always do that. That's funny to me. But at any rate, it is a problem, and it's enormous problem. And I'm just dealing with a couple of these examples here. Okay, and so in an effort to clear out the flotsam, here's a short list of some of the fake news and misunderstandings that have been tossed out there since it became clear that the Athletics were leaving for Las Vegas. The first item is that the Oakland A's left Oakland in pursuit of a larger public subsidy in Las Vegas. The fact is, and the true, correct fact is that true, correct tax increment revenue estimate for Howard Terminal Oakland starts with a targeted $2 billion base year assessed value, 4% annual rate of growth in assessed value, stopping at year 45 to have a 45-year bond issue to yield approximately $1.6 billion in tax increment financing revenue. That's against the $2 billion base year assessed value in the Las Vegas example, stopping at year 30, increasing at 3% per year to yield $1.3 billion. All right. And that's an automatic 3% increase in that context because that's the most reliable increase that one can rely on for a number of technical reasons. So both have advantages and disadvantages, but they kind of wash each other out. Actually, they do not kind of. And so it's not a factor. It's fake news that the Athletics are leaving Oakland because they think they can get a larger subsidy in Las Vegas. That's not true at all and has never been the case at all. Second item, that the A's walked away from the negotiating table with the city of Oakland without warning. While the A's and Major League Baseball had said they were working, parallel paths, right? Anyone with any experience in these matters could see that the A's were getting further along in Las Vegas than they were in Oakland. Why? Because Oakland paid an inordinate level of attention to political touch point items like affordable housing and none to actually forming a stadium authority process to streamline approvals and guarantee what my friend Phil Tagami would call the credibility, certainty, and capacity, all right, in its ability to lay a path toward a groundbreaking. Oakland Mayor Shang Tao claimed that the parties were like, we're almost there, okay? But the fact is that there was no establishment of a public authority, even though SB 293 Skinner, the designer law for Howard Terminal that allowed tax increment financing, all right, called for one. It was right there in black and white, folks. It called for one. And the city just fooled around until when Major League Baseball Commissioner Bob Manfred said, hey, you know what? We're going to look at Vegas because it's March 27th and we don't see a line toward getting a groundbreaking in a timely fashion. The problem here from the start has been that the city of Oakland has approached these tasks in a piecemeal way as if time on task was never a consideration. 4 years, all right, and still not a created tax increment financing revenue zone. It really takes 6 months to do at best, including approval from soup to nuts. Okay, 6 months. All right. Whereas in Las Vegas, because of an approach that's more process based rather than political based, projects can get off the ground faster and they're hampered only by issues of financing more than anything else. Overall, it's a misunderstanding, but it's one the A's could have handled by being completely direct with the city of Oakland. In other words, hey, you don't have your act together, and so therefore we're getting out of here, all right? And saying we're buying land and see a better path toward a ballpark here in Las Vegas. So let's just forget the talks. Okay? That would have been the better thing for the Athletics to do. But they're being hyper polite and it came off the wrong way. And it really hurt them. But not with respect to Las Vegas and the legislature. They don't care. Third item, that the A's will not pay property tax. That is completely wrong. That idea was blurted out by Jeremy Arguello of Applied Analytics, who's a consultant to the A's, and yet get this, worked for Mark Davis and the Raiders after serving as staff to the Las Vegas Stadium Authority, and prior to that, the Southern Nevada Tourism and Infrastructure Committee, which later became a commission. I know for a fact at the time that Jerry maybe blurted that out last week, he was not instructed that the A's would be paying a possessory interest tax in lieu of a property tax, and so said the error that did upset some people who were involved with the project. All right. See, this is why, all right, a normal tax increment financing legal mechanism calls for the private land and property owner to pay the property tax, to pay the property tax. Because just like you on the house, right? You pay the property tax, okay? But in the Las Vegas ballpark case for the A's, the facility is to be owned by the Las Vegas Stadium Authority, so the A's are to pay what is called a possessory interest tax. Why? Because the Las Vegas Stadium Authority will own the ballpark. So the A's are basically, and Dave Koppel has admitted this himself, they are paying for the construction of the ballpark for the most part so that the Stadium Authority can own it. All right. But with the possessory interest tax, they use the same tax rate as if it were a property tax. But you can't do tax increment financing without paying that fee, be it a property tax in the normal case or possessory interest tax. Either way, that's got to be paid or there's no tax increment financing. There's no flow of funds. It can't happen. In closing, there are going to be more items of fake news and misunderstandings as we go. If you have a question or want to find out what's what, right? Send it to me as a comment on the video here or email Zennie, Zennie at zennie62media.net. And stay tuned. And I want to say there's a lot of stuff out there that's really ridiculous. Like, for example, there's one tweeter I'm not going to mention that really seems to delight in getting after Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo for trying to bring the A's from Oakland to Nevada, right? Well, then why doesn't the same person get after California Governor Gavin Newsom for not working to keep the A's in Oakland? Why are these folks so afraid of elected officials and so afraid of criticizing them? Could it be maybe that they actually work for those elected officials and they're just covering up and they know that those elected officials didn't do the right thing? Could it be a combination of Shang Tao's staff or someone on it doing that sort of thing, or the taxpayer dime? Wouldn't 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 put it past them. Okay, I would not put it past them. And the other fake news is that, well, an expansion team is better for Las Vegas. That's a load of hooey. And the reason why it's a load of hooey is because it actually takes more time to get an expansion team done, including payments. Major League Baseball has made it easy for the A's. No relocation fee. Commonly, when you're starting an expansion team, you have to pay a humongous franchise fee. In the case of the NFL and the Houston Texans, for example, you know what their franchise fee was? It was $750 million. Do you know what that franchise fee is going to be today? $1.4 billion. That's right. You got that kind of money? I don't. You don't. Okay? Not too many people do. So the point I'm making is that the hurdle rate to establish an expansion franchise in sports is higher than it's ever been. But there is no such hurdle rate for the Athletics in the unique case of moving to Las Vegas. Why? It starts with a G. It's called gambling. And that's the one other thing that no one except me has talked about, and I'll talk about it more. Gambling is the big ticket item that the Athletics are going after that they believe will enrich in their revenue pot. And they're right. I talked to, in the NFL parlance, Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones way back in Las Vegas in 2019. And I said to him, hey, you know what? Don't you think that the Cowboys were worth 10.5 billion or thereabouts. There are estimates of that. He admitted that would be the case. All right. So again, you know, there is gambling money to be made here. California has fooled around, slipped, shoddily done this, so it has no gambling legislation to, you know, care of, to even speak about. Nothing, nothing at all. And so what's going on, folks, is that the world is passing Oakland by rapidly, and meanwhile, Oakland is quite literally killing its image and, in a number of cases, killing its residents. And I still live in Oakland, so we really need to get our act together. We haven't done it. And so no one said to anybody, hey, why aren't you blaming Mayor Oakland Mayor Shang Tao? All right. Hey, good morning. He says, good morning. How are you doing? Happy Mother's Day to you. He says, this week the bill should be done. And he says, so the Nevada government should look at it. I want a copy too. Expansion team is harder. Yeah, it's much harder. And Vegas says that the upcoming Nevada legislature Clark County approvals will shut down the fake news. Yeah, because, well, you know what? I like to think that, but I think there's some people out here who are getting payola. Well, I take that back. They're not getting paid, not necessarily because, look, I should realize that, and I had momentarily forgotten. We went through this with the Raiders, right? And there were everybody's looking for something wrong, including me. Okay, so I'm glad you guys are responding. And hey, by the way, put some into the till for what we're doing because we can certainly use the extra revenue. But yeah, thank you for that tip, by the way, Vegas Mark 725. And I will note that, folks. Let's note that the upcoming Nevada legislature, Clark County, Major League Baseball approvals will shut down the fake news. And I heard it's 50-50 to keep the A's in Oakland. Well, no, the A's are gone. Let's put that way. I mean, I know that you're being spun the other way because this is what they're trying to do. I'll make this real quick, okay, folks? They're trying to keep the fans, well, they are the news stations in the Bay Area and the West Coast are trying to keep the fans interested so they keep going to the A's games and everything else. And because it actually basically winds up for money into their pocket as well, okay? And so it's incumbent upon them to say, hey, look, there's a chance that they'll stay here and they're going to work this out. But the reality is, and the commissioner said it last year, we're done talking about Oakland. It's Las Vegas. And not only that, when you start looking at it, you realize that in 2 years, when just from the point that Rob Manfred said, okay, it's go time for Vegas, they have gotten the culinary union agreement, 60,000 strong, among others. Okay. Okay. All right. And the steam fitters, the pipe fitters union as well. They have done work and they've done it at a faster pace there than any place else. So I'm very happy that at this time of day, you all are on here. You guys have been waiting for me. And this told me something. Thank you for the money. Vegas, thanks. That's very nice. Thank you. Keep spreading truth. I will do so. I'm incentivized. All right, folks. And he says, Zinni, he says, preach. This speak. Thank you. Thank you. This is very heartwarming. Thank you very much. I know my responsibilities, and I thank you all so very much. And more coming. All right. That ends this broadcast. Sleep time. See you later.